Democrats are signaling complete capitulation on all the issues that matter. Here's Dick Durbin on CNN talking about what comes next after Biden's win.
Point comfortable with eliminating the filibuster?
Listen, I live in the world of Senate rules more than most, and I understand how they can be used effectively and how they can just be a roadblock to anything happening. Here's the good news. In conversations I've had since November 3rd with Republican senators, we sat down and got very honest and very candid on a personal basis, and they are frustrated. They want the Senate to do things. I believe that's where the potential is for the future, that with Republicans who are ready for the Senate to be active and engaged and finding compromises and moving forward, the Senate rules won't hold us back.
So no, don't end the filibuster? You wouldn't support it right now? Because, Senator Manchin calls it BS.
Yes. Well, I can tell you at this point, there are a lot of factors involved. At this point, what I want to focus on is first, winning Georgia. Second, finding bipartisan solutions. And third, letting Joe Biden use the presidency to put America back on its feet, to overcome the COVID-19 pandemic, and to get this economy back to work.
Okay.
That's a white flag. That's what that is. That's what that is. So, he's saying, listen, I talked to Republican senators. They spoke to me on a personal basis, and they say they want the Senate to do things. And so we're going to, quote, find compromise. We're also going to, quote, do bipartisan solutions. Every single thing that's part of the Democratic agenda is out the window because they won't agree to it. The only thing Republicans will agree to are their priorities. So the thing I fear the most is the so-called grand bargain, namely the cutting of Social Security and Medicare under the guise of we had to do it, and actually we're just saving these programs for the long run, and we're not really cutting them, we're just reforming them. That's the thing I fear the most, for sure, because Biden was always open to that. In fact, there's countless speeches of him talking about this in Congress, in the Senate. He's open to that, and now if the Democrats are saying, oh, first we're going to look for bipartisan solutions and finding compromises, that's a sign of, like, we're going to agree to their priorities. Because you're not going to get any Republican senators to agree to, for example, raise the minimum wage. Increasing the minimum wage already passed the House, by the way, to their credit. But in the Senate, are Republicans going to be down to vote for raising the minimum wage, assuming you need even one or two Republican votes? And you would need more than that, by the way, but assuming you only need one or two Republican votes, they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. So what are they going to do? Are they going to do new stimulus checks? They won't even do it under Trump. McConnell wouldn't even do it under Trump. He's going to do it under a Biden administration? There's a quote that went viral on Twitter recently. It was of negotiations between Barack Obama and Mitch McConnell, and Joe Biden was negotiating on behalf of Barack Obama with Mitch McConnell, and they were talking about one of their bills. They're like, listen, here's the reasons why we got to do this. McConnell's response was, oh, you must be under the impression that I care. You must be under the impression that I care. I don't care. I don't care about your priorities. I don't care about how good this would be for the American people. I don't care about how many people this helps. I'm not for it. Piss off. And now what do you get? This is the Democratic reaction. I talked to Republicans on a personal level, and they said, we want the Senate to do things, find compromises and bipartisan solutions. I need everybody to understand that those things are not inherently good. Bipartisan solutions and compromise, those things are not inherently good. It depends what's in the compromise. If Democrats and Republicans are getting together and agreeing we should bomb another country that didn't attack us, I'd say that's a terrible compromise and that's a terrible bipartisan solution. But they act like it's a good in and of itself. So they can turn around and say, see, we did something. Pat us on the back. But really it's because, they all have roughly the same donors. They have billionaires and corporations donating to them. And so no matter what, they're going to serve those donors. And so in some ways, the Democrats like the Washington Generals in that they're like paid to lose. And the Republicans are paid to run roughshod over the Democrats and get more of their agenda implemented, which is, of course, tax cuts for the rich and deregulation and things of that nature. Bailouts for Wall Street under Democrats and Republicans. We see bailouts of Wall Street nonstop. But anyway, this is what this is. It's a white flag. It's a white flag. Dick Durbin's like, yeah, we're not going to do anything to force our agenda through. We're going to work for bipartisan solutions, and the only thing Republicans are going to agree to are Republican ideas. So stop and think about it. When the country votes for Republicans, we get Republican policy. When the country votes for Democrats, we get Republican policy. But I guess this is what everybody should have expected, given that the entire election was run on platitude, cliche, Trump bad. That's the entire Democratic message. Platitude, cliche, Trump bad. So it wasn't about healthcare, wasn't about jobs, wasn't about eliminating student loan debt, wasn't about any of that stuff. Wasn't about wages. And so why would I expect him to do anything good on that front? I'd be naive to think that. The most you're going to get out of the Biden administration is his first week, where he'll do some executive actions that'll make everybody happy. After that, it'll be nothing but perpetual gridlock, perpetual obstruction, and to the extent that anything gets done, it'll be on Republicans' terms. And this is Dick Durbin basically admitting that